Canada wins. Let's go. Here we are. Here we are. Oh, deep sigh of relief. I was more worried than you about this game. I don't know why, but we did it, man. We did it.
We did, and yeah, it was not disappointing. It was just what I expected. A 3-2 win for Canada, nail biter. Um, yeah, it was. I was pretty confident going in. Of
Speaking of
course,
biting,
as yeah, right. It's 3-0 Canada, and I knew that we were not. Yeah, we were not winning 5-1. We were going to win 3-2, and that sure is what happened. And definitely had my nerves going there at the end, but yeah, it was super super exciting. Super happy for those girls. They worked so hard for this, and to see the look on their faces and the hugs and just the emotion, it was so amazing. And look who it is, MPP, just unreal.
MPP for PM. That was my tweet last night. I was
Yeah,
like, man, like, it's no offense, Justin, but she's got my vote. So,
right now I
but
think she'd have a lot of people's votes, but
oh
yeah,
yeah,
she
oh
just
yeah,
like that move or that takeaway that she had there to get the. I'm trying to think if that was the second or the third goal. That was the second. That was the second
second
goal
goal.
to make it 2-0.
Yeah.
I was just like, I happened to be looking down at my phone for like 2 seconds, so I literally just caught her shooting it. But I was just like, I thank God they showed the replay because I was like, wow, like just sheer talent and skill and just yeah, just unreal. And then her third goal, it just goes to show you just shoot the puck, just shoot it at the net. Good things happen, and that's exactly what happened on that goal. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
on the third goal, it was just reactionary because the rebound came to her, and then she just put it in the perfect place to bank it in. Right, like
Exactly.
it was
She couldn't have
perfect.
placed it. Yeah, she couldn't place it any better. It almost looked like the puck went under the net at first. Like when you just watched it live, I was like, was that for real? Like I was like in shock. I really actually thought that that's what happened, but thankfully I was wrong.
Well, it
But
just goes to show
yeah,
how smart Marie Philip Pillan is, and you can just tell, like, even in the interview too. Like, and she never wants to take any credit. Of course, that's just how legends are.
yeah,
But the way that she put that puck in, it was a it was a smart it was a smart play because she just tried to get it on net as soon as she could and get it within striking distance, if you will. Like, it just the way she banked it in from the angle that she was on.
yeah.
Um, it was great. And the other shot though, like her first goal, the goalie should have had it. Like that's true,
She
but
should have. Yeah, she was screened a little bit. Like if you looked at it from the
yeah,
angle
she
from the back,
was
because you
screened a
have to
bit.
show
Yeah,
it from the back of the net. She
yeah,
definitely was screened because it just kind of squeaked under her right arm. But
yeah,
yeah, it definitely, and that was something I had said yesterday that goaltending was definitely going to be a factor. And honestly, it turned out to be a huge factor because and Renee Debien, she stood on her head, played well. I don't know what the final shots ended up being. I'm sure that they outshot us though, and yeah, and the U.S. needed their goalie to back them, and it's unfortunate, but yeah, I thought that was probably the biggest weakness of their game was their goaltending for sure.
yeah. It kept them from having the game be tied at the end of the game. Like, it was too late at the end. I mean, you never really felt like the U.S. were a big threat in the entire game. I didn't think so.
No, no, really, like literally just at the end there. I thought that one of the things I was disappointed on the Canadian side was I didn't think that they used their bench very well. I didn't think that they used the depth of their team like that. They have four solid lines, and of course, plus Jamie Lee Rattray is like the extra. I was really disappointed actually because she made the first shift she had. I don't even know how long I listened to the game. Way too far into the game, in my opinion, and you could just see Melodita was not even close to 100%. She was probably at like I almost felt like she was at like 50%. So really felt like had Ratcher been on there, like they would have been much more offensive than they ended up being. Like she and the time that she was on the ice, honestly, I feel like she maybe played 5 minutes the whole game. It was not a lot at all. She was super effective from the defensive end to the offensive end, and so that to me was a little bit disappointing that she didn't get more ice time. And even like the fourth line, like they were using Laura Stacy, she killed the penalty there in I think in the third, And but yeah, just they just have so much depth, and I didn't think that they used that effectively. And I think it showed at the end of the game when they almost tied it, right? So I think had they used their depth a little bit more, the game may not have been as close as it actually was, because they overplayed Larocque and Renata Foss. Like they've got some depth on that D as well. But yeah, I think that Canada could have actually like even dominated the game more than they did had they used their bench more effectively.
Yeah, I mean, you take what you have to just lean on your best players. That's how you win, right? So
For sure.
I understood that, but once they
Hmm.
went up a few goals, you wanted to see Rat Ray more because, like, when she's out there, like she's drawing a lot of attention to herself in a good way because she just carries the puck well. She forechecks extremely well, and that's one thing I liked about the player that you have in your background, Natalie Spooner. Her first goal didn't count, as we know, which, offside, it was the right call. But
Yeah,
I found that she was very effective without the puck. I thought she was very,
for
very good in the
sure.
forecheck, just being disruptive, just getting in
Yeah.
lanes, even if she wasn't blocking passes. So I like that part of her game.
Yeah, her speed and forechecking was very noticeable last night for sure. Like just her sheer power because of her size. She's definitely got
Yeah,
to be one of the bigger girls on the team. I think they said that she's like 5'9", but yeah, she was super super effective. And Sarah Nurse also played a great game as well. She got the first goal there. I thought that she played really well, and yeah, Jenner got the MVP, but I thought it easily could have went to Sarah Nurse as well. I almost felt like they both deserved it.
yeah, for sure. I had the chance to talk to Sarah actually during COVID in 2020, and she's just she's a trailblazer. There's no question about it. And she set record too. Like she set a record for being the first Black player. What was the stat? I'm just going off the top of my head, but it was 18 points she had, I think, throughout the tournament, and she led the tournament in points, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Yeah, she ended up, well, she's the first black athlete to win a gold medal. That's that was
Yeah,
what
I should know
happened.
that,
So
so forgive me,
yeah, that's okay.
but
I
no,
think
she
you should
just
reach out to her.
yeah.
You
Well,
should,
we'll try, but she's gonna get a lot of requests, I'm sure. But
well, that's why I mean,
yeah,
like, wait a little bit. If you reach out to her, that'd be awesome. If we can get her on to chat with her, that'd be amazing.
yeah. Well,
Especially,
to get anybody on the
mhm,
team would be great. But it was nice to talk to her and her dad and her brother Isaac, who played for the Hamilton Bulldogs,
mhm,
because she just had really great insight on the vision that the women's league has. Because now you and I were talking about it last night, and it was the headline on Sportsnet today about the women's league. Like, come on, like let's get it going. Like you guys just saw what kind of display Canada put on. So that was the
mhm.
discussion last night on TV and online.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens in the next, in the next few months, even like the next year. Now that it's, the Olympics are over, because that's obviously a huge thing for them. And then they actually said there's going to be a World Championships in Norway, I think, at the end of this year. So I was super pumped about that. So it's not ending, and that's awesome. So honestly, this team's probably going to stick together for the next, I don't know, foreseeable future for sure. There's definitely a few people that may, this may have been their last Olympics, but I mean, it's hard to think of like Poulin not being there. You know
Yeah,
how, like, in 4 years, is she going to really change that much? I know, of course, age is a huge factor, but I mean, she's only going to be 34 because she was 18 in 2010, right? So she's not quite
she's
up
my
there yet,
age.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
she's a
So
spring chicken.
right, exactly. So I can honestly, I don't know if she's going to retire or not. I really really hope not, because I mean she's only 30 years old. So um,
Based on how much fun they had, I don't think she does. Because
mm,
like and that was the whole thing last night. Everyone talked about that. Every time they made a good play, they're just like, woo! Like
yeah.
every single time they were doing something positive on the rink. It was just like constant positive reinforcement from the bench. Kind of reminds me of how we used to do it on the rink rats. Um,
Hmm.
and that's what kept like you don't realize it, but subconsciously as a player, when you're listening to that from the bench, it actually affects you whether you realize it or not. And it gives you
Yeah.
confidence while you're
Well,
playing.
and it just showed, I don't know if you noticed in the last minute, um, I think it was before they got the second goal, they showed Renata Fast, and she was laughing. Like,
Yeah.
when does that ever happen, in that type of a game? And it was awesome to see, and it just really showed that, like, how much fun they had, and yeah, I'm just so so happy for them and the result. And it's sad too for the US. Like, of course, obviously I'm pro Canadian, I'm Canadian, and I want Canada to win. Obviously someone has to lose, but after putting 4 years of effort into something, it's disappointing. It's sad to see the disappointment on their faces as well, because like I said, I follow a lot of those girls pretty closely, and someone like Hillary Knight, she's 32, so they're talking about that it being her last Olympics. So
It
you do
looked
feel
like
for
it.
them, and
Yeah, it
yeah,
looked like
and
it. Like the look on her face, it looked like that.
I
So
just actually watched a video before we came on, of her and Marie-Philippe Poulin in the back, actually, like in the hallway there,
I saw
hugging
that.
each other
Yeah,
and just showing appreciation for each other, and
tons of
because
respect.
it's yeah, absolutely, and it's tough, like being on that losing end of it is, yeah, it's honestly it's so tough, but um, great game for them as well, and like they kept saying about Brianna Decker, I would, it's kind of crazy. Like, who knows what would have happened if she was playing, right? But
I
so
wish
super happy.
she would have. Yeah,
Yeah, and super happy and that she was there and that she stayed for the whole Olympics to be with their to be a support to them. I thought that was really awesome of her, because I'm sure that I don't know if she needs surgery or what the deal is with her leg, but yeah, I was super happy for the team and for her that she was able to stay and cheer them on, because what happened to her was really, really unfortunate.
yeah. Similar to Mickelson in the sense of just like how crushing it is knowing you can't play.
Hmm.
But Decker went out in the first game. I mean, so she did play technically,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
just not for very long at all. So that was very
No.
unfortunate because I just want one less excuse for why we won. So I wish she would have played, and then you want to
Hmm.
beat the best players. That's the whole reason it's best on best, right? So I would have liked her to be in for that reason, just as an extra little incentive to say, we won and we earned it. But Team Canada did. They really did. Like these girls showed, and honestly, to me, because the guys' game is so serious a lot of the time, I think the girls really showed, young girls, even young boys, that are going to be playing hockey growing up, how much fun hockey can be and should be. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways from this tournament. And even in the gold medal game, when the pressure is supposedly so supposed to be so high,
Hmm.
you didn't see that, but they just rose to the occasion and they were just in the moment. And that's one
Yeah.
of the best takeaways.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I thought that Canada played a full 60 minutes, like as opposed to the game in the round robin against the US. I felt like we were there for right from the get go, right? I mean, like that first goal that Spooner scored, and then that got called off, and then we scored like pretty much like a minute later. That just showed that we were there and we were there to play.
Yeah, like I just everything about that game was entertaining and just showed what a great product the women's game is. Because again, like I mentioned to you on our first video together, it's about the hockey. It's not as much about. I mean, there's the game within the game. There's a little bit of chirping going on. You saw that, and honestly, that's why Debian, like she held her fort in that net because she was getting ran like Chris Kreider a couple times, like just
Hmm.
ridiculous, right? So she held the fort, and you got to give props to her. I think personally, she deserves more credit for this win than she might have got. MPP got, of course, the spotlight she always does, and deservedly so. But Debian was an all star to me in that game.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you could just see right off the hop, like her like, she was just there. She was so focused and so determined. And I think when I was texting with you last night, I mentioned that I noticed right off the hop that the US goaltending was shaky. So and I'm glad that we took advantage of that, because had we not, we could be in a different position right now. So really happy that they took advantage of that, and super happy for Anne Renee Didier, because she I don't know, I think I said last time that she was the third string goalie in Pyeongchang, so she likely didn't see any ice time at all in the last Olympics. So was super happy for her and the result. And I don't know if you noticed that Blair Turnbull was last into the celebration last night after what happened to her in Calgary in August. She her and her and Emily Clark. She's like Emily Clark. She thanked her for stay for like they haven't even got there yet. They're still off to the right there,
What
because
happened
they
exactly though?
well Turnbull broke her leg in the celebration in Calgary.
Oh, geez, I don't know if I
Yeah,
remember that. Okay.
yeah. She it was you didn't really couldn't really see it at first, but she jumped. Actually, she must have been on the ice when the game ended. She actually jumped on with Anne Renee Debier. She came down and she landed awkwardly, and right away she knew something was wrong. she slid all the way from the celebration by Renee's net to the bench, to the Canadian bench. So her, you could see her holding back, and Emily Clark stayed back with her, and they went into the celebration afterwards safely. But also, I saw
Wow.
a picture of Jamie Lee Rattray falling off the bench backwards onto the ice when
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
celebrating at
I
the
should
end.
pull that up. Well, I won't, but everyone saw it, I think. And like there were so many like so many comments from Noxie, the new Noxie and Cax show on the SDPN network, the new girls broadcast that they launched for the women's show, and they were showing that
Mhm.
picture. And they were mentioning something like when you had a rough night out or something. It was just like
Yeah,
she's hanging out of
but
the bed, like, oh my gosh.
it was perfect that it was her, because I'm sure she just flew right back up.
Oh, Rattray's she just seems like a
Yeah.
riot, right? Like she just
Oh yeah.
has that spirit about her, and that's why she should have got more ice time, I feel too. And honestly, that's one of the things you look at in hindsight, and you're like, you know what? That was her first Olympics. She got the
Yeah.
gold. She probably doesn't care. She,
No,
she
I
like in
know.
retrospect,
I know.
in
I know.
retrospect,
She's also 29 as well. So, I mean, I
yeah,
sure as heck hope she's back for 2026 in Italy. But
yeah,
there's a possibility that she may not, and I really hope that she sticks with it, and yeah, she keeps going, because she's special for sure.
yeah. Like that she's a piece that I feel that they need to utilize more, like we mentioned. So, but
Hmm.
again, what an amazing. This is Canada's fifth the women's fifth gold medal since entering the Olympics at Nagano in 1998. This is their fifth gold medal. Like that's just unheard of. And
Hmm.
we know what happened with the men, but surely we know that the ladies rarely let us down. And you know what? They
Hmm.
wouldn't have let us down if they lost anyway. But you know
No.
what? This was fun. I stayed up late. I still haven't even napped after getting
Yeah.
only like 4 hours of sleep or whatever. But it was worth it. The ladies made it
So
worth
worth
it.
it.
Y'all rock. We would love to have one of you on someday, of course, just to chat with you. But anyways, Trace, thanks for jumping on. Team Canada
Hmm.
does it again. This was a lot of fun to make some videos with you throughout the journey here, and we ended it way we hoped, and it
Yeah.
looks like this.
Yeah. That's, oh, yeah. Pictures say 1,000 words, right? Like no words sometimes, because just, yeah, unreal, and so happy and so proud, just so proud of them. And yeah, obviously, we're Canadian through and through, and just amazing.
It's the best game in the world, and the ladies showed you why last night. So,
Hmm.
all right,
Definitely.
folks. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for jumping on, Trace, as always. And if you like this
Thanks for
video,
having me.
yeah, of course, hit the like button, subscribe if you enjoyed. This won't be the last ladies coverage you see on this channel. That's a darn promise. So, can't wait to talk more again about them, Trace.
Awesome. Thanks, bud.
Thanks for watching, folks.